Hello everybody, I am Bill Wetzel. I'm going to talk you through a cold plunge today. So this is about use my thermometer. It's 4.2 Celsius, 4.1. It's kind of staying at, what was 3.9? Yeah, it's about 3.9 degrees Celsius. So this is kind of a little warmer than what I usually do. So I'm going to sink down here and I'll just hang out here for a while and I'll talk to you about my process. So when you first get in a cold plunge, you have the sympathetic response. That means your body has a fight or flight response. You're naturally going to panic. I'm used to it because I just kind of got in. Typically with the colder temperatures, maybe I go maybe about 2 degrees Celsius. I will do some Wim Hof breathing beforehand. Or sometimes I will do Tumo, the ancient art of Tibetan fire breathing. So just one or the other, you know, depending on my mood or what I feel I need that day. But now, you know, 4 degrees or so, I can just get in and not really think too much about it. So your natural response when you first get into colder water is to just panic, because your body, it doesn't really understand if it's, say, getting thrown into the water in the Bering Sea like a crab fisherman, or if you're getting into water in a safe, you know, situation like a spa, which is a controlled situation. Your body just doesn't understand that. Your body's just like, hell with this, it's time to survive. And its first inkling is to have you panic because it wants you to get out of it. But once you get in, you can kind of control your breathing and relax a little bit. You can tell a few different things right away. So I guess what I would just say is this. Mentally prepare yourself to get into the cold water. Do some breathing, some Tumo or some Wim Hof breathing. Get in and fight that initial panic by just relaxing. You can get in the water and just control your breathing, like just relax and enjoy it. For me, I like to just basically get in, not think too much about it. I'll initially tell, oh, this is cold, but I just sit down and I relax. Now your body's telling you, your mind, to get out. You have to kind of train yourself to say, hey, I'm okay. This is not bad. I've felt this before, or even if you haven't felt it before, I'm okay. That's called the sympathetic response when your body is telling you to get out. It does a few things. It will make your fingers pulsate, especially if you're, say, a little overweight like myself. Your circulation's not that good, so your fingers and your toes, they might kind of pulsate or hurt. I just keep them under and have gotten used to kind of surviving the initial pain. It takes a while to get used to it, but eventually you'll come to adjust. So the sympathetic state is when your body's telling you to get out. It's fight or flight, it's panic. But you just kind of relax and ride that out. And after about 3 minutes, your body adjusts. And for most people, you can go maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you like it. I love the cold water, so I'll stay up in as long as 25 minutes or so. I typically have very little problem with any temperature above, say, 3 degrees Celsius. I can pretty much stay in it 25 minutes, no problem. My Achilles heel, again, I said I'm overweight, so my circulation's not that great. So I can definitely feel it. My fingers will start to hurt. My toes will start to hurt a little bit. Now, if I was in colder water, I'd have to focus more. Now I can just kind of talk, but what I would be doing now is just controlling my breathing like this. And when I first was in 2-degree water, I was just like, oh, this is so cold. This is so cold. So I'd have to focus on tummo breathing. And in that, you visualize a lot. Like I would breathe in and breathe out. You hold on the breath when you breathe in, and you imagine like fire going around your spine, starting with your belly, going around your spine, and then you breathe out and you imagine that fire going all through your body. And then you breathe again. Don't hyperventilate in the water, just breathe normal. Tummo, you kind of hyperventilate. You do that before you get in. But in the water, just breathe more controlled. And you hold it on the way out, like this. And when you do that, you just imagine like fire going all through your body. I imagine my fingers, the tips of my fingers, and my toes being like candles almost, just like flickering. Because those are usually the coldest for me. So I don't know how long I've been in, probably over 5 minutes. This is typically where it gets, for me, kind of a flow state where I can feel like I can just stay in this forever. I think now, because I didn't do breathing exercises and I'm talking for the video, I think for me now, I'm maybe not as comfortable as early as I normally get. But I can feel my fingers, they feel okay, but they're a little cold. They sting just a little bit. My toes, same thing. Try to not move or wiggle them when you're, and try to, don't torture yourself, but try to keep them under as much as you can until you develop some circulation. And then when you've developed circulation, you can maybe begin to wiggle them or something after, say, maybe 5 or 10 minutes if you're doing it a little longer. But if you're just doing 5 minutes, try not to wiggle or move your hands. Just try to keep them under. But work up to that. It's always about working up to it. I naturally like the water for some reason. When you get in, I've had friends who get in and they're just immediately like, nope, and they get out within seconds. But then they'll try it again and they'll last a little bit longer. Maybe that first time immediately stepping out, maybe that second time they last 20 seconds. It's about making progress. So don't worry if you can't just get in the water and stay there. Work up to it. Everything's a little bit of an improvement. It's a big step to get in and get past that panic reflex. if you can get in the water and not panic and relax a little bit, that is a big step in and of itself, even if you can only stay in a minute. So this is not a new thing really. Cold plunges are kind of considered a trend, but athletes have been doing them for a long time. MMA fighters, wrestlers, people who in combat sports, they've been doing these for quite a while. I remember even hearing the gold medalist in track, Justin Gatlin, talking in 2004 how, on one of the days off when they weren't running heats, he did an ice bath or a cold plunge. So they've been around a while. This is, if you want to really get into the history of it, ancient Greece, they did cold plunges. So it's very good for recovering after workouts. For muscles, you probably want to wait 4 to 6 hours before, like, say if you lift, you want to wait 4 to 6 hours before you do a cold plunge. Otherwise, it might reduce your benefits of actually building muscle. There's some science behind that talks about that. You don't do it right after if you're lifting weights, but after an aerobic workout, say like a wrestling practice or after running or something, perfectly great to do it right after. For me, I used to ride bulls, and I used to be a wrestler. I have a lot of old injuries. I've had my shoulder reconstructed, my knee reconstructed, and I've herniated a disc in my back and in my neck, and I dislocate my pinky all the time, and I lost track like 75 times. I think I dislocated my pinky, my left pinky. My elbow, I've dislocated my elbow, broke my arm, both my ankles. So I've had some injuries over my sports career, just in my life. And when I get in the water, I can feel it just reducing the inflammation, and my joints feel great in the days after. It's pretty amazing. It's helped me heal and begin to work out again. At least a little bit. When in the past, I just almost kind of started hurting myself by starting to work out again. I just can't do what I used to, and I have the injuries, and this has really kind of helped me ease back into it. It also helps burn fat. Your body, to save itself, will burn fat. Your body really wants to just save itself, basically. So, it'll sacrifice your extremities, like your toes and fingers, to protect your brain, your heart, your kidneys, your lungs, all the really important stuff. So if you can just kind of get through the sort of circulation pain and relax, you'll begin to understand that you are perfectly fine. And once you can get through that, it's pretty easy to stay in water for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. With regards to the sympathetic response, which is like a fight or flight response, there's also a parasympathetic response. So later on, after your body has been through this, you have a deep relaxation. You can sleep really well. In the evenings, I sleep after this. I've slept like, I don't know, 10 hours a couple times, which is a lot, probably too much, but I've gone home and slept like regular 8 hours just really well. Some of the benefits: helps your immune system. I rarely get sick since I've started doing this. And when I do get sick, it's pretty blunted, like I heal pretty quickly. I think maybe the main thing that I really did notice is the stress resiliency. Now, not just anybody can get in water and stay in it for 5 minutes. Like it's cold, almost freezing temperature water. Stay in it for like 5 minutes. That's a lot for a regular person. And if you can get rid of the panic response or reduce it and kind of tough it out for a minute or two, basically, and get into sort of a flow state where you finish the last couple minutes feeling pretty good, you're doing very well. Like you find that once you get through that stress, because this puts stress on your body. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, in regular life after doing this, like, you know, that little extra work that you have that you maybe got behind on, that you would normally worry about, don't worry about it. Like, you just avoid the stress. You're just like, oh, I'll handle it. I got those bills, you know, that are maybe adding up. You're like, oh, man, I got this, don't worry. You just kind of, it reduces your stress. Those interactions with people where something may have irritated you before, you're like, oh, it's nothing, I got this. You just naturally learn to be resilient when it comes to stress. So in general, my process consists of a little bit of breathing before, maybe 2-3 minutes, Wim Hof or Tomo. I relax, I get in, I let my mind prepare myself for the cold, and I just try to control my breathing and focus. And as my body adjusts after a few minutes, I may decide to do a little more breathing exercises, or I might continue to just control my breathing in a normal way. But I'll just let my body kind of adjust to the water. And I eventually get into kind of a flow state. And I can do that maybe 5 to 10 minutes or whatever. Then I'll start feeling a little bit of the effects of it. And I'll maybe hold out another 5 minutes, just trying to relax and focus if it's colder water. But anything over 25 minutes, you kind of lose your benefits. It's you know, the benefits don't really last. I mean, you're just showing how tough you are or whatever by then. But if you can do, I mean, for a regular person, yeah, I mean, 10 minutes is tops probably. But if you can do more and everything, there are benefits to that, certainly. But you probably, as just a regular person, unless you're wanting to be some kind of extreme cold plunge athlete, probably don't need to ever go over 25, really. Like, there are times I know I can, and I can probably stay in quite a bit longer, but I just don't feel the need to. I'm doing this for health and kind of to challenge myself a little. My ending process, I would say, when I get out, I do some air squats, and that's just, it's called, so maybe an hour or so after you get out, it's called a drop or cold drop, something like that, where your body will actually get really cold feeling again, and, you know, and it can be kind of dangerous, especially like if you're driving home or something, you know. I do not drive home, but you know, it reduces any effects of you maybe getting that drop later if you get a little exercise right when you get out. So I maybe do 10 to 20 air squats just right immediately when I get out. Yeah, if it's cold, really cold, and your fingers or your toes are stinging, you can kind of run them through like cool, not really cool water, but like kind of lukewarm water. You can run it over your fingers or maybe your toes, and just jump in the shower really quick and kind of help reduce that. I do fire and ice, so I get into the sauna, but sometimes when my fingers are just stinging, I'll do that with the water before I get into the sauna. Because the sauna's hot. So the contrast, your fingers and your toes will just be like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. If you get into the really cold water for a while. Another thing I do, and I can demonstrate here, just not taking this a whole lot serious right now, like I do maybe the 2 degrees Celsius cold plunges, but you are a mammal, so your body really responds well to what is called the mammalian response. So that's when you dunk your head under water. You can do it a couple different ways. You can get up and kind of dunk your head like this, or you can dunk under. I usually just dunk under, basically. Either way, you can hold your breath for about the count of 10. But I think if you maybe breathe out and then hold it in, it's a little safer. It just depends on what you feel comfortable with. You do not want to hyperventilate in the water or anything like that. I'm not sure how long I've been in. I can't really see the time. But I'll stay in a few more minutes longer. This, right now, I can stay in for quite a while. It feels good. My hands feel good. My toes feel pretty good. It is nice to get into the sauna after, but I can dunk under, show you the mammalian response that you get. Basically what that is, like when seals or any other mammals, like whales, when they go under and come out, your body naturally becomes warmer. Some of the old hunters who hunt in the ice water, and they still do today. There are people who do that today. They go deep under and come up and pop their heads out, and it's a natural warming feeling. So I can kind of maybe show you that right now. I don't like to get my glasses wet, so this water's probably going to splash all over. So I try to breathe out before I go in. You're gonna gasp. And it's natural. Yeah, I feel warmer. It's crazy, right? But yeah, you feel warm. You can also do it from the front. I prefer really not to. I'm fine doing what I just did. I don't know the time exactly. It says 24. It says 25 now. Yeah, I've roughly been in here almost 25 minutes, so I think that's good. Hope this was informative to you.